Okay, so now we're up to Mean Machine.
Yes.
So obviously we have a lot of knowns and then some unknowns. We all know what Jeff Saka brings on the mound. He's been pitching in this league forever. He had a strong year last year.
He didn't make the playoffs last year, Norman.
He did not make the playoffs, but his pitching is still strong.
Yes.
He has that riser. I have breaking news. He's wearing a pitching mask this year. So that may affect him. We all know what Mount Saban brings to the game. He keeps getting older, but he keeps hitting line drives all across the field. Hits the gaps and everything. The big questions on this team for me: can Shalou play shortstop? I'm not sold yet, but I'm not sold either. We'll see.
Yeah, he did. He came last week to a scrimmage in Fireman's Field. I wouldn't say he was tested. I wouldn't say he wasn't tested. You know,
he didn't prove anything.
Routine ground balls, routine line drives. Nothing that you would say like he's going to be a star shortstop in the league, and nothing that would say like, oh, that Elliott Saka made a mistake giving the position to him. You know, so still unproven.
I mean, Elliott really had no choice. He's the best player in the league, and he wanted to play short. Any captain would give it to him.
Gotta give it to him.
Only question is why he didn't draft a backup just in case.
Right, like a Jordy or
somebody
else
that could fill in if it doesn't work out perfectly. Okay, Joe Chira returning after a couple of years off. He used to be a phenomenal center fielder. Can he still cover all that ground? Is he in shape? I don't know. I haven't seen him. He didn't show up to spring training the 2 weeks that we had it here in Jersey.
Yeah, no, definitely a question mark. I mean, center field is the main part in your outfield, controls the game really, and I guess we'll see.
And the biggest unknown of all, this guy Sonny Braha.
Yes.
His pictures look phenomenal. He's pitching for YU.
Yes.
Guy looks like Doc Gooden in the still frame pictures. Phenomenal. But Elliott drafted him early, and he's either going to be, a phenomenal fielder and hitter and a great early round pick, or he could just be an average player.
Yes.
And if he is, that's trouble.
Yeah, so what we know from Sonny is that he can throw a baseball around 80 miles an hour. That is a scary stat, but we are not playing baseball, and he is not pitching. So does that translate into gunning a guy out at home with a softball in left field? We're yet to know.
I think it does. I have no question about his arm. If Elliott's moving from left to right, that's showing that I have no issue about Sonny fielding left or throwing a rocket from the fence to home plate on a strike. Because he's a pitcher, he throws, he knows what he's doing. And
regardless, there's always that net of Saka moving back to left.
Exactly. But Sonny's got to produce at the plate for this team to justify where they drafted him. I mean, Elliott put a lot of chips on the table to draft Sonny Braha. To me, that's the key to this whole team. They have a deeper bench than most people, a longer bench because they have the 13th man in Sammy Saka.
Yes.
They have Charles R. Saka and Kona. Harry Braha, good third baseman moving over to short center. And you have Charles Saka at third base.
Yeah, Charles Saka, who is playing in the night league the last few years, is a great third baseman. He came to all of spring training. He's looked pretty good. Harry Braha we have not seen, but we know him from the league years past. He's also a good hitter, Norman.
Mm-hmm.
And I know last year he flirted with the leadoff spot, and they moved him back in the lineup. So it's interesting to see how they're going to use him here.
When you look at this lineup, you have Joe Chira, you have Shalou, and you have Saban. Those guys you know are going to hit. You have Elliott Saka as well. The big question is Sonny Braha. I mean, if their lineup is only 4 or 5 deep, that's eh. If you could extend their lineup to 6, 7 deep, then they're a team to be reckoned with Jeffrey Saka, the experience on the mound. Okay, so we have the White Walkers here. Team drafted by Morris Casson. It seems like he drafted every current and former shortstop in the league. And the result is, and again, we don't know exactly how the captains are going to set up their team.
No, of course not.
But I would assume that John Eleazar is playing shortstop. I'd put Eddie Rishdi at second base because he played second base for over a decade. And then I'd stick Hank at short center with Mo Cass at third. Others may feel that Hank is going to play third, Rishdi is going to play short center. You know, they could mix and match around this entire infield. How do you see this playing out?
Yeah, they're definitely versatile in the fact that they can move guys around. I would think Eli Azar is for sure going to play shortstop.
Yes,
Other than that, even at first base, we have right now we have Ike Mavora. Is it Greenberg? You know, not Joe Greenberg, but Eric Greenberg. I guess, yeah, we can see how it develops over the season. I would think that their starting positions week 1 may not be their starting positions as the season progresses, just because of all the movements that this team can be able to do.
But we spoke about it at spring training camp. This is pretty lethal up the middle.
Yeah.
John Eleazar, Hank, and Eddie Rishdi up the middle for this team. That is as much of a brick wall as you could have in the YMSL. This infield, if Mo Cass can still stick it at third base, this infield is, I'd say, one of the best in the league. If not, you could mix them around, like we said. Outfield, you have Shimmy Cohen, who, you know, can play center field on many teams. He's going to go to left. Joe Greenberg, their first-round pick in center, and Abraham Haber in right field. This is a strong outfield as well.
It's definitely a strong outfield. You know, Joe Greenberg is a great center fielder that does range over, bails out his left and right fielders many times last season. Abe Haber played right last season. I believe he was on John Eleazar's team.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously we don't know much about them because they went 0-14. But I think they're two strong players that will be looking to get their first win quickly. You know, they want to get the ball moving. They haven't won in over a year, 2 years, I guess. So I think it's going to be a pretty strong team. Leo Casson, solid pitcher.
Well, that's the key. I mean, Leo was taken 7th out of 8 pitchers in the league. So, you know, can Leo hold his own? Can Leo, you know, throw strikes? In the past, he's had issue finding the strike zone in the past. Can he rectify that, throw strikes, and let this defense do what they can do?
Right.
This is a very strong defense that Mo Cass drafted. I also like their lineup. Eddie Rishdi can still hit with the best of them. Ike Mavora at the plate. I mean, this guy is a hitting champ. I mean, base hit after base hit and line drive after line drive for Ike Mavora, still after all these years. Very, very feared hitter when he comes to the plate. So you have Rishdi, you have John, you have Greenberg, Shimmy, Abe Haber. These guys can hit. Leo's got to throw strikes. Does he throw to Raw Dog? Does he throw to Marcus Adjmi? I'm not sure. Maybe he's more comfortable with one over the other. We'll find out. They have Ben Rishdi on the bench as well. This team seems like a playoff team to me, Saul.
I mean, definitely. Leo last year got traded and ended up making a nice run. He was on the Ducks. He ended up losing in the semifinals. So, like you said, he started out the season not really throwing strikes, and then he got into a little bit of a groove. So if he's able to do that, which I believe he will be able to do, the team looks pretty good.
Okay, we'll see if Leo could throw strikes and get this team into the play. Pretty quickly, give me a prediction. Mean Machine versus the White Walkers.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a tightly contested game. You know, you have Elliot Saka versus Mo Cass. Elliot Saka debut as captain. And Leo Casson versus Jeffrey. I'm going to predict a split between these two. I think if I had to be even more specific, White Walker's going to win game 1, and Jeffrey Saka and the Sakas can come firing back game 2.
Interesting. I like Jeffrey Saka in game 1 over Leo Casson. Although I think the White Walkers, in my opinion, have the better roster. So I am going to go with a White Walkers sweep over Mean Machine. If I was going split, I would have given Jeffrey Saka game 1, but what do I know? There's still so much unknown on the Sonny Braha front, so we'll see. Predicting week 1 is pretty tough.
It's tough, and we are going to keep track of all of our predictions.
Maybe we'll see how I do,
so
and then
depending
we'll see.
on how it works out, we might let you know our record.